Yeah, get close.
All right, well, good morning and thank you for joining us, and we're happy to premiere the first and one-of-a-kind transit shelter, the new transit shelter of the future for the San Francisco MTA. It's a shelter that uses photovoltaic cells to provide electricity to power the shelter, the next Muni system, as well as to power the push-to-talk system for our hard of hearing and some of our disabled customers. So we're very proud of what we're unveiling today, and it would not be able to be done without the leadership of our mayor here in San Francisco, a mayor who has a vision about sustainable, clean environment, and this shelter is going a long way in that regard. And I'd like to bring up Mayor Gavin Newsom first, and then we have some other individuals who'd like to talk to you about this project. Mayor Newsom.
Thanks, Nat, and thank you. Thank all of you for taking the time to be here. This is like Christmas Day for me, because I've been waiting a long time for these shelters, and I know a lot of people in San Francisco have been waiting a long time to see these new shelters. When I travel the rest of the world, I see shelters that put ours to shame and make me very envious. And as a consequence, a number of years ago, we initiated an RFP. We initiated a process to go out and look at potential suitors to bid out our existing shelters and to look at advancing a program that actually could generate more resources for our public transit agency. We estimate over the next 20 years, because of the life of this contract, a 15-year contract with a 5-year option, that will generate over $300 million because of this bus shelter contract. So I want people first and foremost not to just look at this as a physical existence in the context of being a shelter in absence of considering that this shelter has an economic impact in terms of generating revenue for a agency that's gotten a lot of attention lately that needs more revenue. So that's first and foremost. Second, we wanted to make sure this was a sustainable program. As you know, we have one of the cleanest public transit fleets in the nation, arguably in the world. Already half of our public transit operates on zero emission. Vast majority operates on very low emission. As you know, the diesel fleet has been converted to biodiesel. We've reduced our NOx emissions by roughly 90% in some of those 86 new hybrids that you've seen out in the system. We obviously know we need to do more, but we're very proud of our leadership there. This is an extension of that narrative, not just connecting the rolling stock, but connecting the physical attributes of the system with that same framework of sustainability. I was mesmerized when we originally saw these plans. We showcased them downstairs at City Hall when people were bidding, with the creativity and the design teams that were part of this. We have a local design team in San Francisco that actually has helped develop this concept, and we're very proud of their participation. But I'm mostly proud of the fact that you see on this roof, as Nat Ford just said, you see a integration of solar, photovoltaics, that will power this station of sorts. I don't even call them bus shelters anymore, because it is a station of sort. You have the new Next Muni technology, and this is the latest Next Muni technology. You have the push-to-talk technology, so if you're hard of hearing or can't hear, or rather you can't see, you're able to push a button and you'll be able to find out where the next bus is coming. You also have a map there that's lit up by the solar you see above, and because of partnership with PG&E, we're actually connected to the grid, and any excess energy will go back into the grid to feed our overall renewable energy portfolio. Now, it's not a huge amount of energy. We don't want to overpromise it, but it's not insignificant that that's a component of this as well. We also have LED lighting, and as you know, we're moving beyond just incandescents to actually banning certain types of incandescents, and we're really pushing the notion of LEDs. We did that in the Tenderloin with a lot of our street lights. All of these new bus shelters will be LED. They're operating literally at 4.5 times less energy, these LEDs, than the old fluorescent bulbs that were operating or that are operating our neighboring bus shelters throughout the city. You got about 1,100 of these old shelters that'll be converted, including the one right there on the corner. We're looking forward to getting that done in the next, I would like to say, 2.5 years. They would like to say 3.5 years. And we're going to find some common ground in terms of pushing the development. The first point, though, is to make sure this works and people are satisfied in getting these prototypes up. You'll see additional prototypes. Heather, this is important with wind generation. I know it's crazy, sounds crazy, but it's very exciting as well. So solar and wind components on some of our shelters. I thought when we were talking to Nat and Bill Hooper of Clear Channel, you know you get a lot of wind out here. We thought we'd show you, the reason this was delayed, we were going to do this about 3 months ago. The reason we didn't get it 3 months ago is we wanted to show the first demonstration of the solar, not just the traditional bus shelters, because there's a quality of imagination that comes with this prototype that candidly wouldn't come with another prototype. But this is, I think, important. It's about advancing our streetscape. It's about cleaning up our streets and focusing on our urban quality of life. It's about providing more information in real time. It's about latest technologies, including Wi-Fi. And this is a potentially big idea. As you know, and you see that computer, it is already connected to this shelter. Free Wi-Fi in all of these bus shelters. We have an initiative a number of years ago that got caught up in politics. We would be the only city in America with free basic Wi-Fi, except it got caught up in politics. We then initiated something called a network of networks with Meraki and Fawn and these companies. And we're very proud to be leading the way in terms of addressing the digital divide. What we want are more components of that network, and these bus shelters will provide these components throughout our diverse neighborhoods in our city. So this is another attribute that we wanted to promote and highlight that I also think is significant and, from my perspective, exciting. The least exciting thing is the most exciting thing for Clear Channel. They get to advertise. That's how they make money. We make, what, 55% of every dollar you make. So we're partners in that advertising. We hope that advertising is a little more aesthetic and a little bit more stable in terms of how it's organized. But the biggest question mark that I have as a consumer and a resident of this city is maintenance. Because nothing's worse than seeing graffiti, etching, and acid wash on our bus shelters or these things smashed. And we are going to hold our friend, representative of Clear Channel, accountable. Even if he moves on, Clear Channel will be held accountable to high quality maintenance, because the maintenance on our existing shelters is unimpressive. And the maintenance requirements here are much higher than the maintenance requirements there. And so it's all about Nat Ford accountability in relationship to this contract. It's not just getting their money, it's getting a high quality performance out of Clear Channel. And they have promised, don't you worry, you're going to see a very stringent maintenance schedule adopted and implemented and advanced. And so I'm looking forward to seeing this shelter looking like this 4, 5, 10 years from now. And I'll be driving by and riding by, because little do you know that I actually take Muni in spite of some of those that wish I didn't, so that they'd have another reason to complain about me. We do check these, and I do call in and make complaints to my favorite number, 311, which should continue to be used for information and services throughout our city. So, sorry to be long-winded. I honestly am very enthusiastic about this. I don't know why I get excited about it, as maybe a little bit more than others, but this has been long overdue, and it's going to make a big difference aesthetically in this city and financially for our public transit agency, and I think represents our values. And that's where I'll close. Environmental stewardship, technology, Americans with Disability Act, transparency, all that, the accessibility issues, all are incorporated, as well as design and creativity. And it's the Lumberg Design Group, right? So thank you to our design group. And is it Ollie Lumberg, our architect, who's right there? Thank you and congratulations on being part of this, a local San Francisco firm. Thank you. We got many more people to ask, and then we'll get to questions.
Well, thank you for the vision, Mayor Newsom. We would not be here if it wasn't for your leadership and your courage and direction. And we wouldn't be here also if it wasn't for the strong partnership that we have with Clear Channel. We held an international competition. We attracted international interest in this contract. It's a very lucrative contract, and it's in a city that everyone wants to be a part of. And with that, I'd like to bring up Bill Hooper, who's our Clear Channel representative, a senior vice president with Clear Channel. Bill?
Thank you. Well, first we want to say how proud we are of our association with the City of San Francisco and with the MTA. They set a very high standard for us to live up to in design. I'm proud to say this is a only in San Francisco design. When the design standards were put to us, we reached out locally. We didn't reach out to the famous international architects. We looked down the street and found Ole Lundberg and his team, including Ryan Hughes, created this design. The roof you see is a one-of-a-kind. It's not a solar panel shoved on top of a bus shelter. It is a solar panel that is built into the bus shelter and should create great energy savings over the next 20 years. Right now, even though the clouds are out, when the sun comes out, we are actually feeding the grid and giving more power than we're taking out. There's no batteries. It is creating energy, and then we'll use it a little bit more later tonight as we turn the lights on. So we're very proud, and Mr. Mayor, you have our commitment that these shelters will look good 20 years from now when you and I have a lot more gray hair. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Next, I'd like to call up the architect, the designer of this shelter, who worked, the local person who worked with this international firm, so we had a great partnership. Ole Lundberg, could you please say a few words?
Thanks. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Mayor Newsom, the City of San Francisco, the Arts Commission, all who supported this. It's been 2.5 years trying to get this up and running. We're delighted to have it here. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention Ryan Hughes in my office, who's literally spent the last 2.5 years making this his project to get it done. He went to all the meetings that I was unwilling to go to. So this is really Ryan's testament in part. When they held the competition initially, we were excited about being invited to do it. There were certainly a lot of great designers that did designs. Our design got the most comments, both positive and negative. So as a designer, that's sort of what you want. You want to trigger people's imagination. We hope the people that voted for it will be happy with the end result. We hope the people that had criticism of it will now see that there's perhaps more to it than they thought initially. We have a large tradition to live up to here in the Bay Area. We're very fortunate in that we have the Golden Gate Bridge, the Bay Bridge, the ferry building, all structures that are related to transportation and civic responsibility. And this is our first civic structure. I know this is not the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm not trying to compare it to that. But in our little way, we're very proud of it. And we hope it becomes an iconic symbol of San Francisco. We told Clear Channel we didn't want to see these anywhere else, that this was a design for San Francisco. And I don't think it'd work anywhere else. So hopefully we'll all embrace it as San Franciscans, and I'll get to be proud of it for the rest of my life. So thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Ole. Another significant partner, PG&E, and we have the Public Affairs Director here from PG&E, Victor Hayoto. Victor?
Thank you, everyone. Travis Chioda, PG&E. We just want to say we're so delighted to join the mayor, the city, and Clear Channel to deploy more solar power in San Francisco. We spent the last year working with the city and Clear Channel to look at the feasibility to how to best interconnect these solar shelters to our grid. This is a wonderful partnership between the city and private entities. And as the mayor said, every little bit counts in the effort to fight greenhouse gas emissions and global warming, and we're just delighted to be part of it. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Travis. Thank you so much, Travis. So it's time to cut the ribbon on this new shelter. It is a great deal more than just the steel and the glass and the concrete. It's about a new vision for our customers, safety for our customers, customer service, cleanliness, and a much more robust transit system because of the revenues we'll receive from the advertising. So with that, join us with this ribbon cutting.
Are you ready?
All right.
Count down from 5. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. It's in service.
Yes.